Biomes are climatically and geographically defined as similar climatic conditions on the Earth. Communities of plants, animals, and organisms are often referred to as ecosystems. The variation in factors affecting the biotic and abiotic factors creates a typical ecosystem in a particular area. Such major ecosystems are termed as biomes. Biomes are defined by factors such as plant structures, leaf types, plant spacing, and climate. Biomes are often identified with particular patterns of ecological succession. Apart from these defining factors, biomes are classified into two major groups, mainly terrestrial biomes and aquatic biomes. The question that arises in our minds is, why are biomes important in the living world? Over the past several decades, increasing human activity has rapidly destroyed or polluted many ecological habitats throughout the world. It is important to preserve all types of biomes as each shelters a unique forms of life. Forests are important as they house the most diverse biotic communities in the world. Hidden within these biomes are potential medicines and many thousands of unseen and undiscovered species. Also, forests have a global climate buffering capacity, so their destruction may cause large-scale changes in global climate. Water being the basis of life, aquatic biomes are probably the most important of all the biomes. The medium, water, is a major natural resource. It supports life, and countless species count on it for all or part of their lives. Freshwater biomes supply us with our drinking water and water for crop irrigation. The earth is mostly covered with water which has high heating capacity that keeps the temperature of the atmosphere fairly constant and supports life. In addition to this climate buffering capacity, the oceans contain several billion photosynthetic planktons which account for most of the photosynthesis occurring on Earth.
Biomes in India include tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate broadleaf forest, coniferous forest, cold tundra regions, dry deserts that are most commonly covered by mangrove diversities. The mangrove flora of the world is represented by about 65 species. The floral diversity of mangroves in India is great. The Indian mangroves are represented by approximately 59 species from 29 families. Of 59 species, 34 species belonging to 21 families are represented along the west coast. There are a few species which are indigenous to the west coast. Solanaceae cassiolaris, Sueda fruticosa, Uropondra setulosa, etc. In India, wetlands are distributed all along the coastal areas, including Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands. They occupy about 1,140 km square area along the 6,740 km coast. Along the 720 km coastline of Maharashtra state, mangroves are distributed in 6 coastal districts, visually Thane, Greater Mumbai, Suburban Mumbai, Raigad, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg, occupying an area of around 330 km. Mumbai, the commercial capital of India, has got around 25 km mangrove forest area, and they are found mostly along Basin Creek, Malad Creek, Manori Creek and 15 feet deep Mahim Creek, islands like Salsette, Elephanta and Butcher, lakes of Virar and Powai, Gilbert Hills and Thane Creek, located adjacent to the cities of Mumbai and Thane in the state of Maharashtra. Thane Creek is a part of estuary of Ulhas River in western India, opening to Mumbai harbour. It comprises the area stretching from Mumbra, Retibandar to the Mankhurd Vashis Bridge. It has been recognized as an important bird area by the Bombay Natural History Society, as it is home to flamingos and other migratory and wading birds. Suburban Mumbai is blessed with many wetland areas which represent rich biodiversity of a variety of fauna. A number of crab species live among the roots, on the trunks or even forage in the canopy.
Mangrove crab, also known as Scylla serrata, is a large edible swimming crab inhabiting the muddy bottom of mangrove estuaries as well as coastal brackish water. Being commercially important, it is hunted using special nets. Due to its habit of cutting stems of young plant, it is a pest for young plantations. Fiddler crab is characterized by armoring single huge pincer or claw and other small pincer used for feeding in the males. Females have two small pincers of equal size. Being semi-terrestrial, they prefer to stay on protected sand and mud beaches of bays and estuaries. Their burrows are located in the intertidal zone, and at low tide, the crabs come out for feeding and coating. There are 62 known species of fiddler crabs in the world. Mangroves are the breeding and nursery grounds for several species of fish. Some common species are scads, milkfish, mudskippers, millets, catfish, perches, etc. Mudskippers are fishes well adapted to alternating periods of exposure to air and submersion and is frequently seen hopping along the mud at water's edge. They are well camouflaged by an ability to change color to match their background, respiring under the water like other fish but out of the water, gull, air. Mudskippers, when submerged, swims like a fish but on land proceeds by a series of skips. Some of them can even climb trees using their fused pelvic fins as suckers and their pectoral fins as grasping arms. When out of water, it carries in its expanded gill chamber a reserve of oxygen. Once the reserve is exhausted, it is replenished from pool or from water in the burrows they dig. Pair of highly mobile eyes perched on top of the head to increase the field of view and to enable it to see both under and over the water. Birds. Birds, often present in large variety, are a prominent part of most mangrove forests. The mangrove habitats offer rich feeding grounds for many of the large and more spectacular species as well as a multitude of small birds. Both aquatic as well as tree-dwelling birds are commonly found in mangroves and associated areas. The wetland areas have been heaven for a huge spectrum of migratory birds that flew in from faraway places like Central Europe, Mongolia, Siberia, the Himalayas, the Middle East and Central Asia. Flocks of migratory birds, especially greater and lesser flamingos, can be seen in hundreds in the wetlands of Severy Bay and Airoli Creek. About 177 species of resident and migratory birds are found in the mangrove forests. Birds like red shank, the marsh sandpiper, the northern shoveler duck, the Brahmini duck, the red avadabat, the shikra, and the black-shouldered kite were a common sight owing to the favorable conditions that this region offered with its vast mudflats and wetlands. Rare birds such as whistling teals, golden plover, grey plover, hoopoo, and avocet can be sighted here. Among the major water flows spotted here include lesser flamingo, greater flamingo, Asian open billstalk, white stalk, pied avocet, eastern golden plover, ruddy turnstone, and dudlin. Pollution. Mangroves are a critical ecosystem, especially for Mumbai and its surrounding regions. Consistent reclamation of land, including the sewing together of its 7 islands, has caused the city to expand tremendously. Coupled with climate change and global warming, this will result in a change in water levels. Plastic bags and bottles, shoes, thermocol and even wooden furniture are lying amidst the mangroves. Wastewater and solid waste is disposed in wetlands and estuaries. Various researchers have studied individual elements of Thani Creek and Ulhas River estuary at micro levels. Once in abundance, the mangrove flora in Mumbai is facing a serious threat of extinction because of increasing urbanization. Mumbai, which once upon a time used to be a group of many islands harboring luxurious and diverse mangrove vegetation, is now a continuous landmass because of massive land reclamation activities. Besides land reclamation, water pollution, overexploitation, wood felling are some of the other problems affecting Mumbai mangroves. Conservation.
A holistic approach is required while planning the mitigation measures to conserve mangroves and wetlands. Thane Creek and Ulhas River estuary is to consider a whole while planning the mitigation measures. Various organizations like Thane Municipal Corporation, Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, Ministry of Environment and Forest and Department of Ocean Development are in charge of the areas adjacent to the water bodies. Measures are taken to prevent the disposal of solid waste along the banks of water bodies. Thane Municipal Corporation has acquired a large land at Daigar Scientific Landfill site. It has proposed to install and operate waste plastic melting machine through social organization. Also, mangrove plantation drive has been started by the same organization.
But for successful implementation of conservation program, it is necessary to involve public at various stages, visually planning, implementation and post-implementation stages. Awareness program acts as a catalyst which triggers the sentiments of citizens towards the creek and estuary. Concludingly, a thorough understanding of the ecosystem and integrated approach towards planning, utilization and management of resources, participation of various stakeholders with integrated efforts is needed to conserve the wetlands and mangroves of Thane Creek and Ulhas River estuary.